Welcome, welcome, welcome. Tonight, as always, we are streaming the Epic Storm. We're going to wait for some people to jump ahead, get in here. Maybe by then I'll learn how to talk, but we will be playing TES. So, one thing you'll notice is for this list, we have a Cyborg Duress and no copies of Past in Flames. It's something that AJ Kerrigan has been preaching for the last year, and it's just taking us till now to finally listen to AJ. So with Mox Opal in the deck, you're using Past in Flames even less because your empties and your ad nauseums have become even more consistent. And you just don't really need Past in Flames as much. On top of that, with having Mox Opal, you don't really need the basic island as much. So the island was nice because you could essentially sit and play for multiple turns with indestructible mana sources. And that's what Mox Opal paired with Chromox have done with basic Swamp. So it's one less reason to mulligan in the deck is these awkward island hands when Mox Opal kind of fills that role. Granted, you can't search it up with a Polluted Delta, but I think it's something that you can live with for not having an extra card that makes you want to mulligan in the deck. So for now, we're only playing the basic Swamp. 7 discard spells, 8 cantrips. We're still on Tormod's Crypt and Hope. As I mentioned, no Past in Flames. 3 Echoing Truth. I was playing a 4th for a while, but I'm testing 3 was a way of getting the 4th empty back in the deck. The 4th empty. Every time I cut it, I want it back, so we should just quit trying to cut it. If you're here, say hello. Join the chat. You guys are awfully quiet tonight. All right. If anyone has any questions about the deck list, feel free to let me know. You can also look at it using Cardboard Live. Oh, thank you, Dustin, for the Tier 1 subscription. You are my first ever subscriber for Twitch. I appreciate that. I just hit affiliate last month, so I haven't had a whole lot of subscribers. I've had some follows, but I haven't really figured out how to do animations for that sort of stuff. It's on my to-do list to eventually do, so there's no cool animations. I am not a Twitch expert like Anurag Das, my co-host on the Eternal Glory podcast. Speaking of which, first episode dropped last week. It's pretty fucking awesome. I recommend checking it out. That is theeternalglorypodcast.com. We talk lots about Legacy, mainly Star City Games Syracuse, the other 2 events that weekend being the Classic and the Challenge, and a little bit about Wilson's adventures out in GPLA with Cardboard Live. Okay, well, it appears that we have a handful of people in here. I think we should probably just hop in and start playing some games. Thanks, Dustin. I have no idea what bits do. I am not cool. Wump Wump, 3-2 League. I've been testing a lot of weird stuff. Earlier on last week, I was testing 2 discard spells and a main deck defense grid. Just another way of turning on Mox Opal. Figured it couldn't hurt to try it out. In general, I've been so busy recently where I haven't been playing a lot of leagues or just Magic. Also, I realized that with streaming, I can turn the audio off for my computer and it will still record my audio, so we shouldn't have any more Facebook messages interrupting our audio, which is nice. I don't really have a deck list number for the list we are playing tonight. I guess I can pull it up while we're waiting. This beautiful deck. I've just been testing out a lot of different things recently, and I think that this is a 75 I'm actually pretty happy with. For a long time, we weren't really happy with the Past in Flames, but it was kind of like a necessary evil. But with I think having Mox Opal allows you to be able to get away from it just because you're a better empty and a better ad nauseum deck. You're just leaning harder into your strengths rather than leaving a back door that you're weak with, if that happens to make sense. So we're just going all in on the Epic Storm plan rather than trying to be Ant. We have our first opponent. I would like to respond. That would be Marcus Ewald, who happened to publish an article on our website this week on Spiral Tide. Marcus, however, is 0-1. I wonder if he's on Tide or Miracles. Lost the die roll. Our hand's pretty good, though. We're going to keep this. This could be either deck. Marcus only plays blue deck, so this isn't really a tell. To be fair, our game plan against both is pretty much the same. The difference being counterbalance. The ritual's a pretty good pickup. All right, so with this ponder, we're looking for a discard spell here. Literally perfect. That was a great. The next turn, we're going to be able to go off through double counter spell. As long as Marcus doesn't fuck our shit up with a counterbalance right here. I think it's tied. Perhaps we should have played out our Lotus Petal so that way next turn we could just go Badlands, Thoughtseize, and pay for Fluster if need be. That might just be wrong too. On the bottom. Okay, this looks like tied to me. Oh, it's his Dream Halls deck. I should have known. He actually posted about this in chat earlier today. Full control. Alright, so the empties out of the deck, we can go as low as 2. We'll stop there. John, we will not be playing High Tide after this league. I'm sorry. Pretty easy. We definitely want the hopes. We could board in the sideboard discard spell over, I don't know, a Mox or something, but I don't know if that's really where we want to be. So I think instead I'm just going to shave on a Rite of Flame. Are you enjoying your black Belcher shirt, Jack? Hand's pretty solid. We'll try this. A little deceptive of you Elves players to be wearing black Belcher merch. Alright, I'm gonna lead off on the Thoughtseize. Just to make sure we don't die. There's not to shuffle. I think I'm gonna take the predict here. If you think that was wrong, let me know. I'm not positive on what the correct choice was. Peter was a huge pickup there. Like these. Need to not die. In theory, we could have just jammed ad nauseum right there, but I think there's a pretty good chance that he was holding open fluster or force.
I don't know what that means.
Thank you, Siri. So, Josh, I'm supposed to just tell you, I'm supposed to reward you for being lazy and not looking up my Tormod script? I don't know if intuition main phase, that is good for us. I don't know if I'm supposed to reward you. Why would we be playing Tormod script? How about this? You give me reasons why, and I'll let you know if I agree. Now we're gonna get in there with hope. Then kill Marcus. Alright, so we need to get up to Storm 8 in order to win. Oh, my bad, Storm 9. We can actually tutor chain here. Because we have 2 in play. That'll do, pig. That'll do. Hope of Gearper too strong. Our draws were pretty good this round. I'm not going to pretend that they weren't. But that's kind of cool. If you haven't already, check out theepicstorm.com/shop. Sorry about that. I meant Joey. I didn't mean to call you Josh. Sorry about that. I don't make card choices based on availability, so I'm not going to not play Tormod scripts because Christopher Rush ones are tough to get. Like, I'll just play M12 or M13s or whatever the set is. Yeah, there's no Past in Flames in the list. No, we just don't use it enough. That was a good draw. So this is an empty 410. We could also try to ponder and hit a spell so that way we can empty for 14, which is a little more reliable. What do you think, chat? Do we take the safe 10 or do we stretch and aim for 14? 14 is almost a guaranteed win. 10 is a little close. But if we miss, our opponent likely has a Thought Knot because they didn't play a hate piece turn 1. I'll leave this up to you. Do we jam or do we ponder? All right, we have 2-4 ponder. Looks like we're casting ponder. And there's multiple outs. Okay. Let's take the opal because it's a permanent mana source. Ox opal too strong. Easy. But Joey, you didn't really answer my question of like, why would we be playing Tormod script? Like, I just want people to. One of my issues with the Storm community is that they're so told to be doing things where they don't. I feel like we need to think more for ourselves a little bit. So, also, that would have been pretty close on 10 goblins, but I think you could probably figure out on your own why we're playing Tormod script rather than asking, like, what decks are popular at the moment. I almost think we should get a Lion's Eye Diamond with this, because then if we draw an Infernal or a Wish, we can either Grape Shot or Tendrils, and it turns on our Opal. I basically just don't want to be turning on Thought Knot Seer. Always dunking. Yeah, Phoenix is a big reason that we're playing Tormod script. There's also been a lot of Ant online. What's nice about the current position we're in is a Smasher does not kill us because we'll go to 1. All right, now you're dead. No, Joey, that's it. But also, there's just been so much Ant online recently, and Tormod's Crypt is big against all of those decks. And then obviously you have Reanimator, but it's mostly just Phoenix. Echoing Truth seems like it's good against them, but it's really not. You kind of just want to cut it off at the butt. On top of that, it also turns on your Mox Opals. But I do have a video on this if you want more. Okay, so we just beat Eldrazi aggro with a turn 1. I love Mox Opal. It's so good. We're going to be bringing these Echoing Truths. Something else I've considered is this Cyborg Duress, if it should be a Cabal Therapy. I'm not positive yet, but for now I'm testing the duress. I think this is all for now. You can board in more empties over ponders, but I think I'd rather ponder for digging for my truths against like a sphere resistance or a thorn. Adam, surgical and extirpate don't turn on your mox opals. Yikes, this hand is close. Draw a land or an artifact. It's really good on our turn. The problem is if you don't, you have to burn the petal to cast Brainstorm. I don't know. What do you think, chat? Keep or mulligan? I'm probably inclined to mulligan personally, but I'll do whatever you guys want. So the big Eldrazi lists aren't playing Smashers or those smaller Eldrazi, like Mimic. All right, we have one for Maul. Okay. This is a pretty good hand. Dallas on 0. We just lost. All right. No need to waste our time on that. Let's go to game 3. So this is a little risky because you can cast Ponder turn 1, but even if you find Infernal Trigger or Burning Wish, you only have 5 mana after that. So I think you're almost better just going Petal Brainstorm and looking to hit 2 runners. Let's do that. How lucky. Running hot tonight. I will not deny that we are not. In our defense, they definitely turn 1 does game 2. We're only getting even. The London Mulligan is not good for Magic. People talk about how it's insane for combo, but I think it's actually insane for both sides because the fair decks can now find their hate so much easier. So an effect like Counterbalance or Sphere Resistance, it's much easier for them to find. So one of the reasons I put the Rite of Flame back on the Brainstorm was that it's better to reveal a Rite of Flame off of Ad Nauseam than it is a cantrip. Boom, 2-0. Black Belcher. I think the biggest thing with our game 3 was not knowing, like, we knew that it was probably a keep, but was what cantrip do you play turn 1? And knowing that you can only make 5 mana means that if you ponder, you can only hit a couple select cards. So you can only hit Ad Nauseam or Empty, where if you Brainstorm, it's possible to hit like land, Tutor, Land, Burning Wish, which keeps you in the game. One of the items you can buy at the Epic Storm shop is our pint glass, which I am using tonight. This pitcher may or may not have alcohol in it, but that's not what you should worry about. Instead, read John Rowe's testimonial. Hey Marcus, I'm sorry that we had to crush you. Alright, so we're facing Pika Power. Our hand is very explosive, but doesn't have any action. Our opponent is mulliganed. I'm probably inclined to mulligan this myself. We have 3 turns to draw, so we're at 33% for about 3 turns. But the problem is if they're facing, or if we're facing a blue deck, which I think Jeff Pika normally plays, it's not really, because he could just have force and we lose. So we actually need multiple cards, so I'm going to ship it. Okay. Not need a Dark Ritual. I imagine it's Grixis control and not red-black, but I could be wrong. Yeah, it is red-black. Or blue-black, maybe. Our initial 7 isn't bad against Reanimator, but we would have had to draw something on turn 1. I think I'd rather concede than show them more. Because they were respecting days with the looting. So in come the Tormods. Probably want some Echoing Shoots. We don't want Empty. I think you can probably get rid of these Ponders. The matchup isn't really about Ponder. I'm never ever getting a Black Belcher tattoo, Jeff. Sorry. Probably okay. We're just gonna burn this right aflame. Come on, brainstorm. Let's find a Tormod script. That was good. I think we should take the looting here. Now we can cast Crypt and Crypt them. Maybe that was a little too hasty. Maybe I should have tried to force them to ritual or animate dead in response. So we're going to draw this Burning Wish that we know about. So now our choices are, do we get Ponder, Duress, or Petition? I just want to get Ponder so that way we can find an LED. I think LED is going to be our fastest route to victory. I don't think he's played the Badlands yet. I could be wrong. Don't really know what our plan is yet, but I'm not going to shuffle that. Doom was a good one. Maybe we can get them on the old grape shot. Or maybe they don't find any discard. That would be nice. Cool. They just gifted us a win. Well, Jeff, we need storm count, so that's why I didn't play it out. But also, next turn, I wasn't sure if our game plan was to get Dark Petition or empty, if because I need to put a clock on them at some point. So if he didn't have enough mana to Dark Petition, I wanted to empty, and playing out our LED and Petal doesn't give us enough storm to reasonably clock them. I just don't know what you really gain by playing out your artifacts there. It's interesting to note that they left in Elishnorn. Hand is really slow. Sure. We are all sorts of fucked. Yeah, we definitely just lost. Brainstorm? I think that's what we need here. I think we're just supposed to Echoing Truth Gristlebrand. We're only a mana off. This entire game, we've been a mana off. Wow, they have nothing. Jeez. On deck, give us a mana. Alright, we have to fade one draw step. Alright, so if they Iona on black, we can draw an LED and win with Burning Wish and a Grape Shot. Or it has to be Exhume or Reanimate Dead too. Oh, they hit it. Come on, LED. Can we fade another draw step? Come on. Alright, so if we draw land... No, land won't do it. I think this does. Boom. That's a pretty cool one. Grape shot for the win. That's how we do. And people don't like grape shot. The game was fairly nuts, though. We were a turn off almost every single turn. I hope you guys enjoyed the game as much as I did. Flying Whales. The 4-color master. Her hand isn't really that good against 4-color. Against a blind opponent, I would probably keep this. I'm going to pretend that I don't know that they're on 4-color because they might not be anyway. I think I would keep this blind. Chancellor of the Annex, how about that? This fucking deck. Okay, so I think I want our Chromax to stick around. I'm gonna imprint one of these Thought Seizes. Don't really need to play out the pedal. It doesn't do anything for us. We're not winning this turn, so it doesn't really matter what we do. But if for some reason they had double reanimate spell, we could play both thought seizes. I think I want to shuffle this. Because what we could do is next turn we can thought seize them, but if they drew another land, we're actually putting a creature to their graveyard. So I'd rather look for like a LED or a Chrome Mox to get rid of this thought seize or a brainstorm. Okay. Alright, I'm gonna hope they didn't draw land. Fuck. Well, if we can dodge or reanimate for one turn. Pass. Come on. For those of you that aren't super familiar with Storm, we had to cast Thoughtseize there in order to get Hellbent, so we could search up any card with our Infernal Tutor, because Ad Nauseam is the best card in our deck, and if we can have access to it, it's a lot easier to win. Oh, wow. That was bad. We are now very unfavorited. I don't think I should have targeted myself. Seems very loose, taking away our 5th mana source, so that way we couldn't Ad Nauseam on the next turn. Maybe we can still outrace them if we draw a tutor, 6 goblins versus Chancellor. Probably not, but we'll see what we can do. Alright, we're not winning this one. I'm just going to concede. So close. One draw step away. Same boarding as last round, and 2 Tor mods in the Echoing Truths, out the Ponders, and out. You could make an argument that you could keep and ponder over Thoughtseize, so that way the scenario that we were in just doesn't happen. But discard's so valuable in this matchup where it's what we just experienced isn't the typical case. Marcus, that wasn't a scry. That was just a random draw. Are you saying if we had mulliganed? I'm not really sure what match or game you're referencing. It's okay. Go Chancellor. I like that. Maybe we'll start with Thoughtseize this time. All right, we need to draw a Lion's Eye Diamond or a Dark Ritual. No, we did not mulligan that game. We ended up keeping it, and then we just happened to draw a Thoughtseize. Probably take Exhume, at least Reanimate makes them pay life. Still need to draw either Dark Ritual or Lion's Eye Diamond. Boom. Kill Magic. If possible, we're going to try to stop our ad nauseum a little bit early so that way they don't see all of our sideboard. Hopefully, the Echoing Truce and the Tormod scripts, we can ideally hide at least one of them. All right, so is this enough? We still get a land drop too, so this should be good. All right. Got a little bit lucky there, but it happens. Let's see if we can squeak out another game 3. Hope everyone's having a good night. I don't love it, but I do think it's probably a keep. Goblins aren't really good in this matchup, but maybe they'll mulligan into Oblivion or not have a good hand. Yikes. Whatever. We're going to keep it. No Chancellor is good for us. Talk about product placement, huh? Alright, so here's the no petals or unmask. Pass the turn. Pass the turn. Fuck. Okay. And we're not going to beat that, so unfortunately we lost. Womp womp. 3-1. Let's see if we can turn this into a 4-1. Then maybe I will let chat decide. We can either switch over to Modern for some Platinum gifts, or we can play another league with TES. Bill Lush, the winner of the last Leaving a Legacy Open. Also, we're over 5 on die rolls this league. Not really where we want to be. Empty's so strong against in this matchup where I think we want to keep this hand even though it's a little bit weak. Looks like he's on blue-red Delver instead of his normal Grixis, if I had to guess. I think we're probably going to need Brainstorm to resolve in order to win this, so I'm going to play into the Wasteland. If they have it, they have it, but I think we need to advance our game plan, and we're not going to win it unless this Brainstorm resolves. Main deck Echo Intrudes, huh? So it's just mono blue Delver. We have to take a force here. Try to backdoor our way into a win using Ad Nauseam. So we're probably not boarding in the all empty plan. Just their land drop. That's interesting. Also F6'd. Maybe they just click very quickly. I don't know. Alright, so they literally have infinite answers. Did they shuffle? Yeah, they shuffled off their pounder. Okay, so they don't know. Alright, we're gonna go all in. If they drew days, we're kind of fucked. I should quit saying things out loud. It happens to me all the time. Uh, that sucked. Okay, so with them having just a crazy amount of answers to empty, I'm going to board out our empty, and I'm going to try boarding in our hopes. And I'm going to board in the tendrils so that way we don't lose to a surgical. We have a Chromox and Ponder. We have to ship this. I'm actually kind of tempted to just sit here on our fetches and drop to 7 and look to natural storm them. But it might be a little bit difficult if our tendrils is in our main deck instead of our board. I'm gonna try to go for it, depending on what our brainstorms are. This helps us play around surgical a little bit more if we just have it already in play. Oh, so they just have literally everything. We're fucked. Alright. That sucked. Okay. Do people want to watch another League of Legacy, or should we switch over to Modern? Let's hear it, crowd. Alright, we have one for Modern. I actually do need some modern points for what it's worth. I haven't hit my 35 yet. So if we 5-0, I'll get the points that I need for the quarterly. We'll open up our pity chest, see if we get anything good. No, we did not. All right, 2 for modern, 1 for legacy, 2 and 2. Three and 2. For what it's worth, let's load up the modern deck. Show everyone what they'd be getting into. Mayday, you've already voted. You can't vote twice. So this is what I've been playing. 18 lands, 1 repeal, 2 main deck empties with platinum gifts. Oop, we're cut off a little bit. With platinum gifts, you can't afford to be playing pieces of the puzzle. So post board, you're really an empty and madcap deck. All right, we're gonna try a league of this. If the moderns won. Change our name if we're allowed to do that. I don't think it allows you to change your stream name midstream. I could be wrong. Yeah, I would have had to do it pre-stream, I think. I know that we went 3-2, but we faced 2 bad matchups to close out. Black Red Reanimator isn't a positive matchup. I think we're slightly unfavored. And then the Mono Blue Delver deck, weren't beating that deck. It was designed to beat us. Main deck Echoing Truths and Thing in the Ice. Just not going to win those. Hand's okay. We're going to take the ritual here. We're gifts and given away now. Did it change? It doesn't appear change to me. It still says Bryant Cook playing the Epic Storm. They're playing some wild deck. Not need another Past in Flames. Like milling 2 bolts there. That's good news. Ooh, they fizzled. All right, we're gonna go for it. So we're not going to play out Brawl or Goblin Electromancer here because we want the blue mana to cast our cantrips in our graveyard. Oh, I actually screwed that up. I was moving a little too quickly. I wanted the Grape Shot pre Past in Flames. Got a little ahead of myself. That was dumb. Because there was a chance that if we hit like a what is it called? A Manamorphose, that we would have been able to keep going. All right, so I'm just going to Grape Shot here for 8. That was just that would have been a win. Oh, it's still a win. Right? Yeah, it's still a win. Because we can flashback Past in Flames and then our rituals. Or our rituals and then our Past in Flames. Yeah. Fucked up, get rewarded, I guess. Or actually, maybe this was better? I don't know. I think this might have actually been better because our storm count was higher. I think I played poorly and then was accidentally rewarded. Boom, there it is. So I don't really like the platinum plan against these sort of decks. What I do like is bringing in all of these deal 4 damage effects. Because these decks often have a bunch of dispels post board, so I actually just board out all of the gifts. I don't want to be playing that game. I like becoming an empty deck. So this is pretty much how I board against the I'm like losing my words tonight. The blue-red Phoenix decks. Wait, want to take this out? I'm not sure. We have to find 2 slots. You can probably shave 1 Electromancer. And then on the draw, it could be the 18th land. Land's fairly good. Could use another land, but it's got potential. I'm also not 100% confident that this is in fact Phoenix. It could just be Phoenix with Ascension, but it could just be a random brew. Alright, we're going to start off on the turn, so this way we're not immediately shuffling after we sleight of hand. Rather have the Electromancer. This allows us to be able to jam an Electromancer on turn 2 and not have to be afraid if it dies. Another nice thing could be if they flip their thing in the ice this turn, we don't have to worry about ever empty the warrens getting flipped. Go on the bottom with visions. Okay, with Amorphos, they're definitely going to be able to play another spell to flip. So we really, really want to draw land. Build us. That's fine. We still just want to draw land. No Phoenixes are pretty good. See if we can race. Yeah, with the Dismember. You're correct, Fernando. Or Fernandinamo. I don't know how to say that. I'm sorry. But do these Phoenix decks usually play Echoing Truth? I feel like it's fairly uncommon. Am I wrong? So what we could do here is Echoing Truth, the Awakened Horror, dismember the thing and swing for 12. That will put them down to 3. But then we're dead to like a Phoenix and a Bolt. Now we're gonna Echoing Truth this. So if we leave one back, they'll block and take 8, putting them down to 7. We're just gonna swing all 10, I think. I think it's fairly unlikely that we die from here. So now we just swing out. There's no point in dismembering in response, because we could dismember in response to any fetch on turn, and then they're dead. I think they surgical on our turn trying to get us to counter so that way they could flip. Get those format points. Adam, I haven't played Modern in a few weeks. I was prepping for SCG Syracuse, so I just wasn't playing much Modern at all. I've been sitting on 32 format points for like 3 weeks. Traditionally, our platinum plan isn't very good against steam vents. I'll say that. I've brought my win percentage with the platinum plan against red decks. I mean, traditional red decks above 50%. So I'm pretty happy with that. I like playing Electromancer on turn 2 before Brawl because our list isn't playing any counters. And there's not too many removal spells that can kill Electromancer on turn 2 that don't kill a Brawl. So this way, it forces them, if they have like a Electrickery or an Electrickery, to not use it optimally. So they'd be forced to bolt here, and then we play our Brawl, and now our Brawl doesn't die to a, not Electrickery, Electrolyze, I'm sorry. Might be the mirror. They could be looking for a grape shot here. Do they? I didn't realize that they were still playing Charm. But this is definitely Phoenix. Find gifts. So I think we're supposed to take the island because if we take the ritual and then go ritual Morphos into blue blue, probably have a higher chance of drawing a land. But if we don't, we still then have to like repeal our own card to draw a card or something weird like that. Where I think I'd rather just burn the Morphos to see preemptively. That's fine. Eats. All right, we're just not going to draw any business this game. Fast and Flames or Gifts off the top are really good right here. Young Pyromancer and the thing in the ice deck doesn't make a lot of sense to me. God damn it, deck. Giving us so many opportunities to win and you're just not capitalizing. But there's one Phoenix in there, two Phoenix. So we're going to get hit for 13. We'll be down to 4. So we have to draw a business spell or else we're dead. We have 6 that win the game right off the bat. And then we have cantrips where if we draw a cantrip into it, we're still theoretically in. And this is not a business spell that matters here. Okay. Same plan as before. I think I'm still okay to board out a land. And Adam ended up being right. There was, in fact, an Is It Charm in our opponent's deck. I just want to platinum people. Is that too much to ask? Thanks again to Dustin for being our first subscriber. I hit affiliate last month, and Dustin was the first person to subscribe to our channel. Also, give us bits, whatever those do. I'm not entirely sure. Okay. I like this. Tracks in a row is probably good for us, but this could be a thing in the ice. I also like how the 4x empty of the plan plays around both the spell and the multiple surgicals that our opponent has. I really think that's where I want to be. Hopefully this is good enough. I figured I was going to draw land at some point that turn. It kind of just didn't happen. There's no Flusterstorm in this format. Brushed. Okay, we're not out of it yet. Maybe build towards double grape shot or something along those lines. I have a feeling that our empty is going to get surgical at some point. Spell Pierce, that's something to consider. Dragon's Claw? I think we want to use the dismember while they're tapped out. Hey, Dustin. We ended up going 3-0 into 3-2. We faced Reanimator twice, which was one of our losses, and then Mono Blue Delver with main deck Coin Truths. We just weren't going to win that. It happens. But I thanked you once again for subscribing. Double Phoenix? That's not good. That will put us to 3, and then we're dead to another Bolt. Maybe they'll surgical or empty in response or something funny. Give us storm count. Okay. Hopefully we can win out and get a format point from here after 3-0. Maybe get paired against something that isn't Blue Red Phoenix. According to ESPN, the Giants have just traded wide receiver Odell Beckham Jr. to the Browns. Yikes. Rusty Gates. Last seen playing Bant Spirits. Well, no matter what they're playing, this hand is unkeepable, so we're going to ship this. Goddamn hand. Sure. Tebow will not be on the Mets this year. Tron. Doesn't really matter. None of the hands that we saw were keepable. It might be Eldrazi Tron based on the scavenger grounds. That's a start. Taking the Electromancer. We're going to need some luck in order to win this, and that's going to involve drawing a land. Look at that. Okay, I think we might be able to win here. We're just going to try to plow through this relic. And I want to be able to see if I can get like an opt or even remove the gifts to the relic instead. So the empty is okay, but the problem is the O-Stone. I think we have to take one ritual. So we were forced to go for it this turn because of the scavenger grounds. Theoretically, you could wait, but this was our opening. All right, so now we're going to respond to this. And if we can draw into gifts here, we definitely win. I don't know if Serum Visions is better than a random draw. Because we're going to draw blue, blue. 5. I don't know if we can afford to draw the visions. They were just dead if they have a land now. Alright, don't have a land. Hey, supper guy, how are you? Wow, how lucky. We fear that was a mold of fiber. We kept a no lander, and we beat double relic O stone. That's kind of funny. Should we be boarding in this against the deck with scavenging grounds and whatnot? I kind of want to. I think we should just take out our past and flames and our gifts. Like if they want to be on that plan, you just let them, and you should just ignore your graveyard. That's unfortunate. Uh, I mean, the Phoenix decks are really fast, which can be an issue. I'm gonna try this. It's definitely going in the bottom. Put that on the bottom. We already have our payoff spell in Madcap. So here's hoping they're not regular Charmed with Karn. Sure, you can have a relic. But it looks like it is just regular Tron. We really want to find like a braid. I think this might be good enough. Am I wrong? Um, might not be because we could bounce tower, and then they can replay next turn, and then they're mana short. But that's still only one swing with a platinum. I don't even have enough mana for that. Maybe if we draw into a ritual here. I mean, with the scry, that is. No! And we know that our other platinum is on the bottom of our deck. Um, that was a bad draw. I don't even know what the right play is here. It might just not to show them anything. Alright, I'm just gonna concede. Alright, so it appears that they're on regular Tron. If that's the case, I don't think I want this package. I think we just want to fight through their hate. I'm gonna board this stuff back in. Keep one empty for surgical. Alright, let's do this. Super guy, just you can submit your deck list through theepicstorm.com. I don't want to do it while in chat. This is a fine opening hand. I probably should have known that our opponent was on normal Tron, because I don't think the Eldrazi Tron, even though they had the scavenging rounds, plays O-Stone. Probably a mistake on my part. Oh, empty. Not a Tron piece is pretty good for us. Oh, empty's looking pretty good now. We're gonna have blue here. That is why I did not shock off the Steam vent. Take the ritual. So there's no reason to abrade here. We could save this for an O-Stone or something else, and our clock doesn't actually change if we cast it or not. Where if next turn they just play O-Stone, we win. Oh, 2-1. 2 more wins. Those format points. After this league, if it's not too late, we will switch back to some Legacy. This is the Were person. Not a good matchup for us. Sure. And is not that good. Could used a better hand for a tough matchup. Or this empty's really good. So they can currently work for 2. Probably getting Damping Sphere. I think we're just supposed to get cantrips here. We're one short. My bad. We have to pass. So if we ritual, empty will cost 6. So we can't really cast another spell here. Or we aren't out of this game yet. It's just not good for us. So maybe if we bounce the bridge. Just trying to think. So if we end step bounce bridge, we can untap swing for 4 grape shot. So 2 for first spell, 3. Technically can't grape shot for 3, so we could end up losing at 1. So I feel like it's better to wait till the upkeep trigger on this. Am I reading this wrong? So trigger goes on the stack. We bounce bridge. That doesn't do anything. Where, what if we just bounce Coister? Yeah, that might be better if we just bounce the Coister. I think I probably like that more. That was a good game. We got pretty lucky, but play to our outs. So our deck list in particular is not built for this matchup because we don't have pieces of the puzzle, and Gifts isn't really that good here. I don't know if it would be worth boarding in the Mad Cat package because it does get shut down by bridge, but we don't lose to for the 4-mana artifact that gives them hexproof. Is it just dumb to board all this stuff? Just not play the graveyard game at all? I'm open to suggestions, chat. Find 3 slots to take out. The Electromancers are probably fine to take out. Try this then. I know they have EE, but we also can't beat a Witchbane Orb. And it's also really tough to beat the artifact. Hand's okay. We can ritual gifts on their end step. Maybe from there we can do something good. Sure. Drawing Baral would be nuts. So we can either gifts here, or we can just try to win with Past in Flames. Kind of just like going for it when their shields are down, because they have so much that's bad for us. The ritual is actually a really good draw. Meant to do Pyretic on that last one, not Desperate, but oh well. Ooh, we hit it. That was really good. Got there. That is not an easy matchup, and we beat a very, very skilled player. Wrong side of the monitors. All right, one more. We get a format point. Looks like Separate Guy was right. Definitely should have kept in gifts. Haven't really got to use the platinum half of her deck, but that's okay. Number 2 on the leaderboard probably just denied them a 5-0. Or they were 3-1, so we did not deny them. We'll top one of these. We could just jam 6 goblins there, but it might not be enough depending on the matchup, so I'd rather just... Yeah, like, this would just lose. Do we think they can flip their thing in the ice in one turn? Probably, right? Platinums are good, we just haven't had the matchups for them tonight. So the question not right now is, do we go all in on empty? Do we think that they can flip their thing in the ice in one turn? Because we can ritual, Past in Flames. So that's turn 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we're actually giving them 2 turns. I think we should probably just pass. I would not empty for 6. Against an unknown island, that's just like really risky. Because it's a 4-turn clock, and with how popular the Blue-Red Phoenix deck is. So we want to draw gifts. Or if we don't draw gifts, we'd really like a Manamorphose. Looking a little grim now. Yeah, I don't think this is a good matchup at all. For what it's worth, I haven't played Modern in like 3 weeks. So if all of the red decks disappeared that were playing Lit at this stage, it might not be right to be playing them at all. The Platinum plan. Because normally, like 3 weeks ago, when I was grinding a lot of Modern, getting the format points, I was facing red decks several times a league. Maybe this is just an anomaly. I haven't played at all. But normally it wasn't just, a bunch of blue red decks. I don't like Blood Moon. Yeah, it's not a good card. I'm sorry. If you want my thoughts on Blood Moon, they are on the website. I just don't think it's a good card anymore. They are on the list with main deck surgicals, which is fine. So we need to draw our repeal to deal with this Terramander. It's probably how we win this game. That'll not do. Okay. So main deck surgicals, I don't want to be on the gifts plan. Do you want 4 empty? I'll be bringing in all this stuff. Grape shot becomes pretty bad if you don't have the other package. So my concern here is that we're pretty much all in on empty. You could try the platinum package, but I don't think it's very good in this matchup due to Thing in the Ice. But we do have 6 ways of keeping it from flipping. I think we should just try this. My phone is blowing up over the Giants trading Odell Beckham Jr. Sure. Need to find land and an empty. We ended up keeping in the 18th land too. So I don't know if I'm supposed to respond here or not. Like, I imagine the transform has its own trigger. Apparently not. Maybe I played this wrong then. That was under the assumption that a transform trigger would happen. And I think we might just be screwed now. So now that this is already flipped, I don't know if we want to bounce it. But I do think it would be good to get a counter out of their hand. It's like a bolt on or upkeep. That's pretty good. We're a mana short of double empty, unfortunately. Which means that we're a turn short as long as they have a blocker for a turn. Or if they like bolt us or something, we could just lose. Needed a spell we could cast there. Spell Pierce Drake. Yeah, this is not good for us. We already used our Echoing Truth too. Don't think we can win this. Damn. All right. That sucks. Another 3-2. But I think I'm probably done streaming for the night. So I'd like to thank everyone for tuning in. 3 Blue Red Phoenix decks. So if this is what the meta looks like, it might not be right to be running the Platinum plan anymore. And instead, you should be running your standard pieces package. But I'm not really sure what Modern looks like. I just don't play it enough. I haven't played it in 3 weeks. So if the format shifted, I am unaware. And it could just be wrong. But if the format is still full of red decks like it was a month ago, it's probably still okay. Again, thank you for watching and have a good night.